think it's a good way to help the environment.
I think they're good for the environment.
I think electric vehicles are good for the environment, and they're pretty neat in the fact that they're able to make electric cars now that don't require fossil fuels.
I think electric vehicles are good. They're better for the environment because they don't use fossil fuels and mess up the ozone layer.
So I think electric vehicles are definitely a good future, but I also think that you have to think about the consequences before you just immediately buy one.
How easy it is. You know, it's just so easy. You go home, you plug it in, you get up the next day, and it's full, ready to go. No gas stations, no nothing. Everything is just easy with it.
The favorite thing about an EV for me is how quiet it is, how smooth it is, and how much power it has.
I like electric vehicles because their performance is really nice. I like getting off the line quickly at stoplights, but I also like not polluting, and I like being able to not burn fossil fuels and be responsible in my transportation use.
I would say this, that the fact that I haven't had to buy gas for over 6 years, that's pretty cool.
Well, I had a BMW before, and I was going to look at a hybrid. I was going to look at the Chevy Volt, but then I got the chance to talk to a dealer at the Nissan dealer, and he told me about the Leaf, and I tried it out, and I just fell in love with it.
For a couple of reasons. One is because I sell solar, and I thought it was a good thing to do, because it's good for the environment, because I didn't want to have to deal with gas, and because I got a great deal on a car.
The rebates at the state level are quite nice. Hawaii has an abundant amount of resources for folks who are looking to buy an electric vehicle, as does the federal government. So we got a very good deal on our car, and we're very happy with it relative to a fossil fuel car.
Yeah, primarily at home. When I'm out and about, because I drive a lot, you know, I'm in sales, I go from Kihei all the way to Lahaina. I do have to charge outside the house sometimes.
In the beginning, I was using both my home and the public charging stations, but now I entirely use my home, and it's just more convenient, very convenient.
We are renters, and so we are unable to charge our cars at home. So unfortunately, we have to rely on the public infrastructure as much as possible. That means using the EV Ohana system quite frequently, as well as ChargePoint, which is at Target, and Volta, which is at Whole Foods and other places around the island for our charging needs. We do get a chance to charge at home infrequently, but we do use the public chargers a lot. So that's really helpful to have a strong network on Maui.
When I got my first electric vehicle, the first thing I did is I put in my own level 1-2 charging station, so I can always plug in at home, which is ideally nowadays what I do. I come home from the end of a work day, and I simply plug in and I'm good to go. The beauty of my PV is it pays for the charging of my electric vehicle, so I can't go wrong, you know.
The ride is smoother, it's better for the environment, and I just like the way it rides.
I've got a system that creates enough power that I've got extra power.
You know, we live up on a hill. You can just roll all the way down into town and not use any battery at all, just because it uses like the kinetic friction of your car, and you actually regenerate battery going downhill. So like we'll just kind of roll into town and go to Target or something, or like Lowe's or Costco, and charge if we have to.
I didn't really have any fears. I just wanted to try something different, and I'm glad I made the change.
I guess one of my fears would have been the fact that, you know, it is battery operated and I'd have to get to recharge it, and not knowing anything about repairing these kind of cars, because I used to be a mechanic and I know how to repair cars, and I was concerned about that. There's absolutely nothing to be serviced on these cars. It is incredible. No service, no oil changes, no maintenance, no nothing. Just go. Not on purpose.
I will never go back to a gas car again.
I would go back only if I wasn't living on an island.
I don't have to go to the gas station and wait in line anymore. You know, I can come here and charge my car if I need to, and it's relatively cheap and it's quick and there's no waiting. Or I can do it at home at night, and that works out really great for me. I get up in the morning and I have a full tank every day.
Hawaii is so small that I can drive my electric car all over the place and not worry about having to run out of gas or electricity because I can get anywhere I want on one charge and not have to worry about getting stranded. So that's a really good benefit.
I've had, I'd say, over a dozen gas automobiles. I've had a few trucks, but the electric vehicle is just leaps and bounds better for me.
The sooner you can make a decision, the better, because the rebates that they have for certain cars are going to run out soon. So if you're thinking about getting $10,000 off of a new car, the sooner you act, the better. I think if you have photovoltaic panels on your home, that's a good reason to have a solar car. And if you care at all about the environment, especially our local environment, and keeping our air fresh and pure, I think you'll want to consider investing in an EV, because you can reduce pollutants and do your share to help the environment.
If you're so used to a gas vehicle, okay, and then you try an electric vehicle, especially the Nissan Leafs, you'll notice a big difference. The newer models that they've come out with have just made some major improvements, and it's well worth the time.
You learn right away to adjust and change your driving behavior and patterns and habits. And once you do that, it's not a problem.